Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of The Well. I am talking today about, it's called What Am I? And I thought I might do a few of these. Also, by the way, I live really close to the Hollywood sign and people pay for helicopter tours of the Hollywood sign, and this same helicopter has been circling for about 30 minutes. And I was like, the sun's going down, I have to make the well video. So I'm just gonna work with it, guys. We're gonna embrace the chaos and we're gonna work with it. So I actually thought I would start a new the well topic that can be repeated a few times because it's always constantly gonna be changing. So I'm gonna call this episode, What Am I? And that means, what am I reading? What am I vibing? What am I eating? What am I listening to? What am I feeling? What am I working on? So this will be the first of the what am I's for the well. Okay, so let's start with what am I reading? I have a few books down here that I want to show you. This is called The Urban Monk. This is Eastern Wisdom and Modern Hacks to Stop Time, Find Success, Happiness, and Peace. I really like this book. I've read it before, and I just picked it up again recently because it's just essentially a book filled with modern hacks for a busy life. And who doesn't have a busy life these days? There are certain things about what is your action plan? What are the things that you have on your list that are non-negotiables? You have to do them every single day. And how do we make it fit organically in our lives so that we're not taking away from other areas? So we're not taking it away from ourselves mentally or physically, spiritually, to tick off our to-do list. So I find this book really interesting. I think we all live pretty demanding lives, and it's just a really lovely way of kind of bringing us back to health and giving us some really wonderful tips on how to balance such a crazy existence. So I love this one. It's a goodie. I think it applies to everyone. This is a book of poems. Someone gave me this, The Sun and Her Flowers. I found it so beautiful. There was one in particular, I actually thought I'd read it out to you. It says, when it came to listening, my mother taught me silence. If you were drowning their voice with yours, how will you hear them? She asked. When it came to speaking, she said, do it with commitment. Every word you say is your own responsibility. Being responsible for what we say is such an important thing. When it came to being, she said, be tender and tough at once. You need to be vulnerable to live fully, but rough enough to survive it all. I love that bit. When it came to choosing, she asked me to be thankful for the choices I had that she never had the privilege of making. Lessons from Mama. Rupi Kaur, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Sorry about these helicopters. I feel like there's 17 more. It's like, go visit the Hollywood sign day or something. Anyway, that one's a really great one. If the Buddha married, this is like a little Bible for partnerships. I don't think it's only specifically for partnerships. A lot of it's about cultivating self-love and self-care and sort of taking personal inventory and looking at all the ways and all the places which feel stuck and addressing those areas in your life. And so much of that is stemmed from childhood trauma and past experiences that we tend to squash rather than dive into. And this is really talks about the art of lasting relationships. But I think the most important relationship is relationship to self. So I think that this is helpful for not only people who have a partner, but people who are on their own as well. So that's another one I love. Succulent Wild Women. I just thought this was really, it's a funky book. I love the way it's laid out. There's big writing. It's kind of that scrawled script. Lots of little doodles and let your heart grow in size. And then like poems by Maya Angelou, Phenomenal Women, and I just thought this was really interesting. It's you know, female empowerment, but it's definitely, it feels approachable. It doesn't feel it's not off-putting in any way. It's gorgeous. There's a whole section here on blocks of succulents, and I just think it's a really easy read because it's colorful and it's quick. It's a short book. It's 175 pages. I just love it. I love opening it. It's a national bestseller, as you can see at the top. Love opening it and reading a few pages and seeing if there's a little hit of wisdom that I can carry with me for the day. So that's a good one. Our famous 4 agreements. The 4 agreements. So many people have read this book. If you haven't, this was actually the very first book I read when I started my spiritual journey. Don Miguel Ruiz, I'm sure I'm not saying that right. And it really breaks down 4 amazing things to sort of live your life by. This one's really good. Don't make assumptions. That's the 3rd agreement. Maybe I'll just read out. The 2nd agreement is don't take anything personally. Oh my goodness, I need to bring this with me all the time. It's so easy to take things personally, isn't it? I mean, honestly, I'm such a sensitive person that I take on other energies, and I'll sometimes find myself thinking, oh, is that about me? Or did they think that about me? And my husband's like, liberate yourself from thinking that person's directing this at you, because they're not. It's not about you. Don't take it personally. So this is something that I definitely have to carry with me. Be impeccable with your word. I was actually just talking about that earlier. Being responsible for what you're saying and what you're deciding to say. Sometimes it's better just to internalize thoughts rather than always think that you need to express them. I'm someone who's a blah, blah, blah person, and I'll talk about it later when I say what I'm working on, but one of those things is observing, sitting, listening, rather than coming out with my words and my reactions immediately. Domestication and the dream of the planet. That's really lovely. Anyway, so this is a wonderful book. It's probably the book that I recommend that people go out and buy before getting any other book if you're interested at all in doing self-work, just because it's really easily digested, and I understand the way it's broken down is just really beautiful, and it feels simple. Breaking old agreements. There's just, I really love this. I remember reading it and thinking my whole life had cracked open, and I thought, oh my gosh, there are all these wonderful possibilities, and it helped inspire me to go further in my spiritual journey. So that was a goodie. And then Living Beautifully with Uncertainty and Change, which I think so many of us need right now, given the fact that we've been in this pandemic for so long and we're all waiting for it to be done, and it's not quite done yet. And I mean, really, that is the definition of uncertainty and change. Our lives have radically changed recently. And this is Pema Chodron, and I love all of her works. I think she's really insightful. And she's an American Buddhist nun. And I these are the things that I've been sort of looking at. I'm kind of in this zone right now. I go through different periods of my reading. Sometimes I'm really into true crime and detective stuff. I love Michelle McNamara's book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is her exploration into the East Area rapist, the Golden State Killer, and her sort of her obsessiveness with the case and what that did to her and how she managed to unravel so many aspects of that case. And I just see myself in her in so many ways. Her need to find justice for those victims was so beautiful. And so that is a book that I have read about 4 times. So sometimes I'll be in that zone where I'm really into reading books like that. And then other times I'm in this zone. And right now I'm definitely in the self-work, spirituality. Always tend to go to my Eckhart Tolle when I'm feeling this vibe. Love all that stuff. Okay, so that brings me to, what am I listening to? Right now I've discovered a new podcast. It's called The Law of Attraction Tribe, and it really breaks down the key elements of the law of attraction and what that means and how you can apply it in your own life. Whether or not you believe in that stuff, I don't know, but I still find that the host is really inspiring, and I love what she has to say. She's got a beautiful perspective on life, and just kind of gathering all of your desires and your wants and the things you think about and the things that you want to work towards, and kind of pulling them all together and having a clear idea of what they are, and all right, what are my like active steps towards achieving those dreams. So I love that. It's just a good reminder. I like to listen to that right before bed. So I have this routine that I'm really loving. It's my ritual before bed, which is getting the bubble bath. Kids are asleep, getting the bubble bath. I drink my dream, my frothy goodness, lavender infused dream. And I listen to her podcast, The Law of Attraction Tribe. I've listened to most episodes now. Sometimes I'll go back and listen again, and I just find it really inspiring, and I'm definitely listening to a lot of that sort of stuff. There's another podcast I love, called Krista Tippett on Being, and Krista Tippett interviews some really amazing folks doing lots of brilliant things in the world, leaders in their fields. It's spirituality leaning, but it also breaks down so many social things. Hi, my kids have just got out of the bath. It talks a lot about social impact and what's going on in the world and current events, but it doesn't feel heavy. It's quite an easy listen, and I always listen to it and feel completely inspired, and it's a beautiful pick-me-up kind of podcast. So I'm listening to that. Definitely in line with the books I'm reading and what I'm vibing right now. What am I eating? I am eating every single day avocado toast for breakfast, without fail. Every morning I have an avocado toast. I start my day with a hot or warm water with lemon squeezed, and I'm doing this thing called the 16-8 intermittent fasting. So I fast for 16 hours and then I eat for 8 hours. A lot of people in the 8 hours, they eat super healthy. I would say I'm healthy-ish in the 8 hours. I would definitely have a vegan burger. Yes, I have vegan burger and some fries. But always I have the same thing for breakfast, which is I have my avocado toast, I have my green juice, and I have my blossom. That's just how I like to start the day. And I eat around 10:30. And what I typically do is I wake up, I have my warm water with lemon, I go on my hike, I come back, and then I eat my food. And then after that, for lunch, I usually have a vegan chili, or I'll have a quesadilla. Sometimes I'll have a salad, sometimes it'll be a burger. And I tend to eat my lunch around 2:00, and I'll finish the night by eating at 6. And I have kombuchas peppered throughout the day. That's just what I'm kind of into right now. Every now and then I have a boba tea because I love boba tea. Try and drink as much water as I possibly can. I do not drink enough. And then always, every night before bed, I have my dream. That is my ritual. And I actually feel like I can't sleep without it. I look at it as the equivalent to my earplugs. I have to drink that and I have to put my earplugs in, and then I know I'm going to have a good night's sleep. And also my watch tells me I have been. So I've had much more rested sleep since I've been carving out this ritual. So I find that really important. Oh my gosh, I'm at 14:30. These talks go so fast. I think I have so much more that I have to fit in, but I have about 30 seconds left. So that's what I'm eating, that's what I'm reading, that's what I'm listening to. What am I vibing? I'm vibing community, connection, friendship, soulful, deep conversations. This is what I'm craving. I'm trying to fill my days with it. When the kids are at school, I try and catch up with a friend, and I just want to sit and be real and have authentic conversations and get in there and be vulnerable with each other and think esoterically and kind of get bigger than ourselves. And I find that as soon as I come insular and I think about my world, and like little problems or worries will pop up, but when I can just think bigger, it's so much more harmonious, I think. And really, really thinking a lot about gratitude. So much gratitude. It's Thanksgiving actually this week here in America. By the time you watch this, it'll be a few weeks out from Thanksgiving. But I think that's also triggered a lot of moments of observing my life and looking around me and realizing just how lucky I am and how grateful I am for such simple things, for little things, for having my babies be healthy and that they can laugh and run and play, and that I get to do my hike every day with my baby strapped on me. And you know, we have a home, we have food, I get to live with my mom, I get to spend time with her. Family's so important to me. So it is really I'm really sitting in this place right now at the end of 2021 of just gratitude and taking stock of everything I have in my life. Really a lot of enthusiasm and excitement about Lovewell 2.0, knowing that this business that we feel so passionate about is really helping people. I don't think I could do a business otherwise. I would never be able to. I've always wanted to utilize my position to be of service in some way. And that's why this just feels really good. It just like sits really great inside of me. It feels wonderful because I know how potent and incredible these blends are. And they're having a profound impact on people's lives and making people's lives easier, which is what we need right now. Gosh, it's been a shitstorm the last couple of years. And it's like, how do we weave in things in our life that just like takes the load off our shoulders a little bit more? So feeling really incredibly grateful for the experience with Lovewell, for my partners, Kate and Dan, for my friends, my family, and all you guys, and connecting with you and getting to know you and reading all your comments and responding. And it's such a lovely community that we've built. So thank you for joining us, and I will see you next week. Or next episode, I think 2 weeks from now, the next episode of The Well. All right, guys.